Hi, my name's Lucy and I volunteered on the Kisumu project in Kenya in summer 2014 with Tenteleni. And a few things that I really enjoyed about volunteering with them was firstly the great support that I got from them. Before I went to Kenya, I'd never really travelled, I'd never volunteered, and I'd never worked with children. So the thought of being a teaching assistant was actually quite daunting. But Tenteleni provided me with training before projects in London, and in-country training as well before we went on placement, and that really made the task of going into the classroom for that first time a little less daunting. And I got support all through project as well with my project coordinators. They're our team leaders throughout project, and they were always there if you needed them. They were a phone call away if you had any problems at all. I had many great moments on projects, but if I had to choose one favourite moment, it would have been at my non-formal placement with Tenteleni. You go to two placements. You go to your formal and non-formal. Your formal is at a school. Non-formal can be at community centres, orphanages. But I was at a home for street boys, and I've been working. Well, we had been working with a boy with severe learning difficulties for weeks, and we were going through numbers 1 to 10 with him as usual, and just for the first time he was repeating everything we were saying. He understood what we were talking about, and he was saying his numbers 1 to 10. It was just the most fantastic thing just to see that the effort you put in, it was effective. As always, is when you volunteer abroad, you make some fantastic friends. There was a group of 8 volunteers, 2 national volunteers, and 6 international volunteers from the UK, and you work very closely with some of them, and you just build fantastic friendships because you're working with them a lot, and you can share your ideas and work through your strengths and weaknesses with them. Another great thing about volunteering Tenteleni is that they go back to the same placements year on year. So when I got into school, my school already knew who we were and what we were about to do, so we could really get stuck in there. We could get on with trying to make as much of an impact as possible. Another great thing about volunteering Tenteleni is the amount of inspirational people you meet through projects who work with Tenteleni. But 2 people that really stick in my mind were my homestay hosts, Mibo and Ishmael. They work for a charity called Blue Cross Kenya, and they basically dedicate their lives to rehabilitating homeless street boys by providing them with a roof over their head and putting them back into school. And I stayed with them with my project partner, and they just made us feel so welcome, and it was a pleasure to go home to them every day after work.